Hey everybody, thanks for watching. I am at Williamsburg National Golf Club where we're doing the Be Better Golf School, the second one that I'm doing here with MILO Lines. Hey Milo, good to see you. Milo is the head instructor this weekend and then now this week during the middle of the week. And Milo, there's been kind of a change in Be Better Golf recently where now instead of being so positional and then kind of like trying to create forces like from scratch, like I'm here and now I'm trying to create, I'm playing a whole lot better, especially with driver and full swing shots. I mean, you saw it on the course, and
playing good.
And I'm hitting full swing shots really nicely, but the wedge is difficult. The thing that's been helping my full swing shots is getting the force going before the motion, but anything from about, and also I'm hitting good 50-yard wedges and my short game's sharp, but if I have like a 80 to 110 yard shot and I have to hit like a full swing wedge, it's I feel like I'm moving well, but my swing bottom is really like disturbed. So I'm gonna give you this microphone. I'll just tuck it in like so. So what do you think I can do to get that better?
Well, we can work on hitting more.
Okay.
And so I still force before motion idea, but I don't want you have too much like soupiness in your hands and arms and too much up and down.
Okay.
So it seems like you're hitting quite a few like fat, right? Is that the tendency?
Yeah, fat or skip thins, you know, skip it and then thin it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want you to just feel like you're using the force, but the force is in the ground, but make it just a little less crazy dynamic and a little bit more structured in your hands and arms.
Okay, so I'll go on a line for the yellow flag.
Okay.
And all right, so as I'm learning, how far should I hit this?
I'd hit this first one about to that basket, which is like
Okay.
45 yards. Did he make it? Oh, almost.
About a yard off.
Okay, that was good.
Mm-hmm.
Now make this one go just a hair farther. So we're just going to play ladders with it.
Okay.
But make sure that structure in those hands and arms stays about the same. We don't want floppiness. Okay.
Mission accomplished.
That looks pretty good. Nice and shallow at the bottom, and
All right, come in here, Jack. So diagnose that you said nice and shallow at the bottom, and this is, so I'll come close here. So you said nice and shallow at the bottom, and this is something that we've been doing at the school, where sometimes we see divots like this over here that goes beyond the grass, past the roots, into like the total dirt. And so kind of when we're hitting those little pitch shots, what should we see on most ranges?
we should see something about like what you did there, where you've mowed the grass down to the top of the dirt, but you haven't actually got rid of all the grass out of that divot.
Okay, all right, drop back, Jack. So now we can go to about 75 yards?
Yep.
Okay.
Those tee heads are really little.
Yep.
Yeah, just like that. Feel how level you are?
You mean level?
There's not a lot of.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Sometimes when I try to do the structure, the flow stuff, I go. That's.
Yeah, you're up and down a little too much for the amount of speed you're creating.
Yeah, 75. Wow. How about 85?
Yeah.
Okay. Not bad though, right?
It was good though.
Yeah, so that's, now we're starting to get into my zone where I have some problems. All right, this is my question for you is that some people were saying at setup and then through the swing, do you leave more weight on the left side for wedge shots than you would like, say like I hit a good 6-iron yesterday, and I kind of feel like 65% here, and then I kind of get off of it and then replan it.
I would say with my wedge shots, I tend to stay a little bit more left the whole time, and I would say most tour players probably do the same. They might start 60-40 and stay a little bit more centered.
Okay.
Have a little less pressure shift.
All right, 90 maybe?
Sure, let's see 90. What club is that?
54.
Okay. So 90 should be pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
That's still like,
yeah, it's still
what, a little more than 3/4?
Yeah, it's just past. Hit this about 105 normally. So.
Oh, we got a shank.
Yep. All right, level-wise, was I up and down a lot, you think?
Not a lot.
Okay.
A little.
I wasn't really solid on where I was aiming that one, I think, too. How can aim influence, like if you lose your perspective of where the aim is?
Well, it makes you do different things with your hands to get it on target. So I generally prefer to see a slightly open stance with all these little wedge shots.
Okay. All right, over the basket towards the yellow, 90. All right, that's the other. So if I don't fat it, I hit it left.
Okay. So what would make it go left?
The face being shut or the path going left?
Yes. Or what about the face being square and the path going really right?
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So in that scenario, I think the face was pretty close to square and the path was to the right.
Okay, gotcha.
Closer to straight.
Yeah, baby step. Kind of like a mini version of the last one. Okay, so I would have thinned that to about 105 then.
Yeah, you had been just long.
All right, so recap for me, Milo. When I'm hitting my wedge shots, I should be thinking.
You should just be maintaining your height a little bit more and feeling like it's a little bit more of a structured pivot.
Oh, okay. All right, so let's do what we had our students doing. So I got to go back a little slower, structured pivot to the basket. Okay, a little deep. One more time. That was more level, that was better. And stretch it out.
Stretch it out a little bit. Let's make sure that face is not shut.
All right. You're saying maybe even like put a little cut?
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe feel like that's what you're going to hit.
That's a lot better.
So that was like a 1-yard draw.
Yeah, it didn't feel like held off, but it did feel more behind me here.
Okay.
And then, my pivot was in front of it. All right, so 100-yard shot. This has been a problem. Let's see.
That was much better.
Yeah.
Only like 4 feet left.
All right.
You notice how
this way more, Jack.
When you were around that time, did you notice that it was more the bounce? So the face wasn't so turned down like this.
Yeah. So
in digging,
it sounded different.
It sounded different. It sounded like you hit the ground with the back of the club instead of with the face turned like this.
Yeah. And that high-pitched digging sound. All right. I don't think I asked you this before, or I probably did, but I forget. So as far as exaggeration goes, so if I want to hit fade wedges that are high and fading a little bit, should I be feeling like 10-yard fade as an exaggeration, or should I just be trying to do what I'm trying to do? As far as like 2-yard fade.
I probably wouldn't be exaggerating how much you're trying to cut across a wedge. But I would just, for you, I would feel like you're hitting it with the face a little bit more open, even if the path is coming from the inside, because you're getting the face on top of it like this. You're hitting from the inside, but the face is so closed, you're hitting like a smother hook,
okay,
which makes the club dig a little too much. So when you do hit a little behind it, it's really fat.
All right. So what do I want to do? I just don't want that last image of the bad thing I do.
Set that face in there a little more open, and then just make that the club follows you.
That was really good.
That's pretty much what you wanted to do, right?
Yeah, exactly what I wanted. Yeah,
well,
that's good.
I think the whole thing is you're just getting the face set in there a little too closed, kind of like a lot of our students do.
Yeah, so let's talk about that for a second. Let me tee it up here and we'll have Jack come in to see. So Jack, hover right over this. So just so people can have a reference. So this tee, Milo, I probably sound awful. Hold on a second, I can just stand right next to you. Okay. Jack, stand right there so we can see this one. Yeah, cool. All right, so this tee, Milo, is the direction we want to hit the ball, okay? And this club face, turn that way just a little bit. Sorry, turn your shoulders just a little bit. Okay, so that's
okay. Yeah, so you can hear me.
Yeah. This club face, we want to hit the ball on this direction. So what's wrong with me setting the club like that, which to me seems square to my direction?
Well, it's already square, but the club is like a whole ball away from the ball. So by the time it moves to the ball and the ball bounces off about, you know, half an inch after you hit it, that face is going to be pointed probably 3 or 4 degrees left.
So we're here, we're coming in, we're set up here like this. We hit it, it continues to close.
So it's closing and the ball comes off about right there. Now your face is pointed somewhere left. And so you just hit a pull draw.
So how should we set up then?
The face should be set up probably like the general, the average on tour is probably like 4 degrees open, I would guess. So the face is pointed somewhere a little off to the right of your target.
Show me 4 degrees. So,
well,
like that?
4 degrees would look like, I don't know, something like that with the handle leaning a little forward. So it looks like that face is pointed out there somewhere. But then by the time you hit it, that face is going to close and start the ball just barely right of this line and draw it onto the line.
Yeah. All right, I'll try that. That's good, actually. Good?
Yep. That looks a little right of the line, right?
Yeah, it does.
You managed to figure out how to shut it a little and start it on line and draw it away from it.
Okay. Which is for me usually stopping.
Yeah, it's just
too big of a backswing, and then
and the club overtakes you at the bottom.
Right. So about like that, right?
Yep, that looks about right.
That was great.
So that was pretty good, right?
Yeah, and too, like, it's that sound that you were talking about where I could hear the bounce.
Yeah, you hear the sole hit instead of the leading edge dig.
Right, right.
It's 2 different sounds.
Yeah, so for me, I think the keys that I learned from this video, Milo, that I think people can take with them, you guys watching, is watching me, you know, try to get better can help people, is first of all, still use those. Don't discount the forces before the motion stuff. That's good stuff, but don't be trying to use full-on driver motion for this, right?
Yeah, this is not a driver. We don't have to hit it that hard.
Right. And then a second, then my level can be fairly level, keep my head level, weight a little bit more on this side. And Milo, when I was hitting those good small ones, they were with structure, so I need to keep that structure. So for me, if I get too long, then I lose it. I can easily come this way. So I just got to be a little shorter, wider, and then let it trail me, right?
Yep, let it follow you down.
Okay, hit one for us, Milo. Hit two for us. One that goes to the basket, and then one that goes fairly full. That's great. Perfect. Where do you like to see your wedges miss? You like to see them miss right?
I don't ever like to hit the ball left. So if I miss, I don't ever like to see the ball left. Every shot I hit, right.
Okay. Some degree of right.
Some degree of right.
Just on the right side of the hole or the...
Yeah, I don't like the ball left. So I'll hit this one a little more full.
Oh, it's perfect.
So it's just like a yard right.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. You can learn more about the Be Better Golf Schools like we're doing right now at Be Better... All right, guys, thanks for watching. You can learn more about the Be Better Golf Schools at bebettergolf.net/schools. You can learn more about Milo and his great website over at milolinesgolf.com. You can use the promo codes BeBetterYearly or BeBetterMonthly for a discount to that. If you can't get out to a school, or even if you can, because a lot of the members of the school have joined us in person, go over to that website, and he's got a great community that I'm part of, that I'm always sharing. Kind of like people are helping me with their swings, and I'm giving feedback to other people, like on his Coach Now social media site. It's a whole lot of fun. So that's at milolinesgolf.com. Thanks for watching, everybody. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and follow Milo on Instagram and YouTube. Yeah, here on YouTube, which he's tagged as well.